Hello, Mr. Tompkins. My name is Nathaniel Elam. As you may know, I did my documentary, sorry, on Tupac Resurrection. It was not on the list, but I tried 3 documentaries on the list that you gave us, but all 3 did not work for me. Not for me, but they didn't work on my computer, or they were blocked, or they just weren't found. Okay, so let me start off. My viewing experience was exceptional. I loved the documentary. It explained a lot, and it told me a lot about Tupac, Tupac and his struggles, as well as even African Americans and their struggles. I watched the documentary today, about 3 hours ago now. I did make it. I did make watch the whole documentary through one sitting. It was very entertaining and instructive, so it was easy for me to keep close eye on it because I found it extremely interesting and it was easy to watch. I did not go back and watch certain parts because I've seen the documentary several times, and the time I watched it this time for the FSC documentary, it was mainly because I wanted to refresh my brain on the certain parts in the documentary that I wanted to emphasize per se. The thesis of the documentary could be from Tupac's point of view. This documentary will explain my trials and tribulations I have gone through during my life, and from birth to death. Or it could be from a different narrator's point of view. It could be this documentary explains Tupac Amaru Shakur's struggles in life, beginning from birth and ending to his death. This documentary maker helps support the thesis because it the maker puts the documentary in order from the beginning of his life to the end of his life, so it flows nicely and it's easy to grab information from it. I feel that there were no perspectives ignored in the documentary. There was one emphasized, which is the African American perspective, as well as Tupac's perspective. That one perspective was the one that was more or less emphasized. I disagree with the media and the government perspectives substantially because of their way to manipulate and cut out your opinion or your voice. And that's what Tupac, in a way, was fighting for. He was fighting for a voice, in my opinion. I agree with the African American and Tupac Shakur perspective in the documentary because I am one African American, and I believe in everything that was presented to us in the documentary from past experiences and even in my family's history. We've gone through plenty of past history and problems during civil rights movement, slavery, and etc. Personal connections I can make could be me, myself. I've gone through different occasions of racism myself, and even my cousin, my close cousin, my first cousin, got held at gunpoint from a white male, mainly because of her race, and she did not even know the man, but she was down south, and meaning the southern part of the United States, there's racism is still down there. Like, it's still noticed a lot in the southern part of the United States of America. The demographics that would benefit watching this documentary would be African American, Mexican, and Caucasian, because African American and Mexican, because both of them almost just about went through the same thing. African Americans, I could say more because I could vouch for them because one, I am African American, and from personal experiences as well, I could say that people in my family also have gone through some of the things that Tupac Shakur has went through and mentioned throughout this documentary, and Caucasians, because I would just like to point out that some of the things that they've done is in a way highlighted in this documentary, I could say. I'm not saying all, but some. So I believe two groups will be immediately affected while watching the release of this documentary: the media and the government. The government, or judicial courts, I could say, could be affected because while Tupac went to court, and he went often, they decided to look more at the thug life and the tattoos and the rap music, and they looked at that more or less, more than what he's actually brought to court for. They took everything. They took everything into consideration when it had nothing to do with it. The media, because in a way he shows that the media does switch around your words, and they don't always tell the truth, and they criticize people for expressing in a way their beliefs sometimes. That is my say on the Tupac Resurrection documentary published in 2003. I hope you enjoyed it, and I am looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, Mr. Tompkins. Thank you, and have a great evening.